Hello, everybody. It's the Love Hour podcast sponsored by insert business name here. We are so glad to have you back in the place. It is your boy, KevOnStage, with the lovely and luxurious
Miss KevOnStage.
We are going to tell y'all.
I don't know why I did that.
That's all right, babe. I was going to support you. We are working very diligently to record the podcastus. We are working very hard in the midnight hour. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and we are trying our best to do this.
3 o'clock in the
It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but I want y'all to feel like we were doing this really hard. But just let me let y'all know, we is tired.
I am tired.
And we are still doing this to the best of our ability. Amen.
What days are you going to release these?
I don't know. We're trying to decide if we do this weekly, bi-weekly. I feel like bi-weekly would be easier to keep up with. But I feel like weekly is more consistent.
Yeah, I feel like people do it weekly.
Almost everybody that has a successful podcast does it weekly.
Yeah. But most people, the two that I listen to, they drop on Thursdays. When did Serial drop?
Thursday. And Brilliant Idiots. Combat Jack is inconsistent. He's consistently dropping, but it's not a certain amount. It's not on a certain day. But he very rarely goes without 10 days. Serial drops for a season and they take a whole long time off. But I think weekly we'll try. We've got a lot of topics. We sat down before we did this and got a lot of topics. So we got a lot of topics. And we're doing our best to do them. So today we want to talk about work wives and work husbands. Let me tell you what I don't do. Work wife, work husband.
I don't understand why it's such a big deal to you.
You got one husband. One kinsman redeemer.
Is it the title of it?
It's the title. It's the idea. It's the...
Wait, were we supposed to welcome them and tell them who we are?
We welcome you. Yes, we're not good at the podcasting stuff. This is just a conversation, but I'm KevOnStage, husband of one wife, father of 2 children. We never really welcome people.
Oh, I thought last time we did an introduction or something. Hi, welcome. My name is Miss KevOnStage. I have, I guess it makes more sense to do it at the end.
Well, in the middle of my sentence, probably not the best time to do it. But since we're starting over...
Hi, welcome to the Love Hour, where you will find Kevin and Melissa Fredericks, who consider themselves to be marriage champions for a generation of people that may not believe in the foundation and truths of the biblical foundation of the Bible. We now welcome you, Kevin and Melissa Fredericks.
There are some podcasts that I listen to that sound just like that. The Confessions of a Terrible Husband.
I know. That's what I was doing it.
Were you?
Yeah, I had that in my mind.
And Focus on the Family. By the way, me and Melissa were talking. Let us know, email us or tweet us or comment on our Instagram. We were talking about how long our podcast has to be. When we first started, I was like, it's got to be an hour. Everybody in the best needs to be an hour. Then we kind of consistently did 20 to 30 minutes, which I feel like is fine. We weren't thinking that this topic would give us more than 15 minutes. But do you guys care? I know it really doesn't. It matters, but it doesn't, because if Melissa cares, then that's all that matters. If she wants to be 30 minutes, it don't matter what y'all say or I say. But I am curious to y'all, does it matter? I'm assuming y'all going to be like, do it long, 3 hours. 3 hours. But anyway, now the topic today is work wives, work husbands, and best friends of the opposite sex. And my wife was asking me why I feel so strongly about this. I don't do the work wife, work husband thing.
But I want you to elaborate on to why.
Okay, when I was at Bank America, there was a lot of work wife and work husband stuff going on. And it wasn't even, to my knowledge, none ended in sexual escapades.
Yeah, I think they're all innocent.
My problem, I don't think people are innocent in anything. I believe your work husband is bringing you cookies and he wants to give you the peanut.
What? I
always think people have ulterior motives. I don't trust anything.
I don't really think that's true.
You are a beautiful woman, Melissa.
Yeah, but I don't think that's true.
That's because you like to see the good in people.
No, I just don't think that's true.
I think that... Okay, I'll put it like this. Say you got a work husband, okay? His name is Barlos. His name is Johnny Mac.
Oh my God!
Johnny Mac always says hi to you when you come in. Hey, girl, hey.
Okay, so time out. Let's take a moment and let's talk about
I'm trying to set this up.
I know,
it's the second time you interrupted me.
I know, because you're setting...
You need to get information.
You are setting up Stop! You are setting up a scenario in which someone likes or has a crush on someone.
Why would you call somebody your work wife or husband if you had not?
Okay, so when I worked at
crush.
When I worked at the bank, Andrea, and Matt considered, and I was their work daughter actually. So it was the two of them, and I was their work daughter. It wasn't because Matt liked Andrea or Andrea liked Matt. In fact, they were both married at the time. Well, Matt was in a relationship and Andrea was married. It was simply because they had worked together from one branch and then they moved to another branch. And it wasn't even together. They had just moved and wound up at the same branch. And they had been working together for however long.
Yep.
Then I had come and worked with them for a long period of time. And then me and Andrea went to another branch and we had worked together for a period of time. And then when Matt got promoted from banking, he went to financial advisor. He went and came back and worked for the branch so it was just all three. So it's more like a family type atmosphere of, wow, we've been working together for 6 years.
And meet me in the storage room closet.
It doesn't work that way.
For penis.
It doesn't. I think you've created this scenario.
No.
Okay.
Maybe Matt and Andrea were just innocent. But I'm guaranteeing somebody out in the work husband and work wife world is giving some work out. You hear me? And it got nothing to do with whatever business you're in. I would love to think everybody is innocent until proven guilty. But I think sometimes some eggplant emojis are discovered in the text messages.
I just don't believe that's true.
Of 100 people who are work wife and work husbands, how many times do you think it's your point of view where it's innocent and good fun?
I really don't know.
Just guess.
95%.
Are in good fun?
I don't believe that most people are out here just cheating on their husband and their wives, assuming that each party is married.
72% are illicit.
Illicit?
And that's 100% true. I don't want to leave no room to the enemy.
I get that.
Just call me your coworker.
No,
what is wrong with that?
Nothing. I am not saying I want to do this. What I am saying is I'm trying to understand your point of view, and I don't know that it's wholly based on fact.
What do you mean?
I don't really think. I think. Well, first of all, if you're cheating on your husband or your husband or your wife, you're not just going to be like out here announcing, "This is my work husband, my work wife. This is the person I'm cheating on with." It's like far more
true,
undercover, under wraps than that.
I agree.
And so because it's so like above board.
Yeah.
From the instances, and I haven't really, honestly, I don't even know how many people still do this because I haven't seen it that often.
What?
Work husband, work wife.
Okay.
But the ones that I've seen, it really is more about the fact that we've worked together for X amount of time and we've just worked together.
Okay, I think it's more about you are a special friend of mine, a coworker of mine, who I like more than other people. It doesn't. Maybe it's not sexual.
Well, then maybe okay, so the times that you have seen work husband, work wife, is it drawn from those, that's my work husband because you're a special coworker of mine? Or is it because, to me, they stem from working together for an extended period of time, not you're my little friend.
To me, I think it's, in my experience, I mostly saw it at the bank. I didn't see it hardly at all.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's, yeah.
For whatever reason, it didn't happen at.
Because people moved around a lot at the Boeing. But at the bank, again, people worked together. You were at a branch for an extended, people didn't move around.
Yeah.
So you were there for a long period of time.
But in my experience, it was more people who vibed with each other or got along really well more than they had just worked together. I mean, I guess they, in most instances, they did also work together for a long time.
Yeah, that's probably why they vibed, because they had worked together for a long, extended period of time.
You're just trying to make yourself right.
I think you're making a bigger deal of it than it is.
I like the memes where it says you leaving mad at your real husband and your work husband is sitting there with a smile on his face and a batch of cookies. You ain't seen that?
No.
I've seen that meme.
Oh, I haven't.
Here's what I was going to say before I was rudely interrupted by my lovely wife.
I'm going to punch you.
Okay? Company party. Work husband, work wife have too much to drink. Bumping into each other. Oh, Bob, I'm sorry. What is that in your pants? A flashlight or a penis? I think that is more likely to happen if you're playing the whole work husband, work wife thing. I think
What privilege is it to be a work husband? What more? I don't know.
You're going to lunch together. You're waiting there.
They're not going to lunch together.
What world is you living in? Work husband, work wife don't go to lunch together? You don't see people from work going to lunch together at the same time? Same people going to lunch together all the time?
I do.
Opposite sex?
Yes.
All right. What you saying? I know one thing. You better not have no work husband.
Oh, I don't have a work husband.
Because you're going to have some work violence. Real life violence. Not fairy tale Sims land. I'm talking about hands. Hey, we got a delivery for Melissa's work husband. Oh, I'll sign here. Bow, bow, hands. That's what it was. Special delivery.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Talk about what?
Do you have any issue going to, or if I went to lunch with a female friend or coworker every day, just me and her?
No. I don't go to lunch every day with the same person, but I go to lunch. I've gone to lunch with Rami before.
Who is this?
Oh my God. You know who Rami is.
I don't know no Rami. I don't know no Rami.
I'm not, because I don't know who listens to this, so I'm not going to say what I want to say to you right now.
Is it racial slur?
No.
I really don't know who that is.
Yes, you do.
Have I met this individual?
No, I don't think you've met Rami.
Then how would I know?
I'm not going to say what I want to say.
Say it off the air.
I will say it off the air.
So you are out here going to lunch with Rami, are you?
I'll go to lunch with Rami. I'll go to lunch with Christina. I'll go to lunch with Rami and Christina.
So you and Rami, how often do y'all go to lunch together?
Actually, it's been a while.
Oh, has it? Do y'all just be laughing and smiling and giggling?
Yeah, that's what we do. Laugh and smile and giggle. I can't stand you.
So if I went to work with coworker X, who has a vagine, wouldn't bother you?
How often are you going? Are y'all laughing and joking?
As much as you laughing and joking with a ramen noodle, as much as you go with a Rami, said,
but I wouldn't mind.
You wouldn't mind?
No.
Luckily, I'm a God-fearing man, and I don't even go to lunch. I eat Bible pages for lunch. Actually, most of the time, I go to lunch with Doughboy. If I go to lunch at all.
Yeah, I've been by myself because I like to.
See, the thing is, and this is where I kid and I joke, but I do trust you. So if you are going to lunch...
Oh my gosh, I was just reading... I've been interrupting you all this episode.
Yes, you don't know how to stay in your place.
I'm sorry. Finish your thought.
No, go ahead. Because I was actually interested in what you're about to say.
I'm listening to a book, and you have to forgive me because I'm reading 2 or 3 different books right now, and I'm audio listening to 2 or 3 different books right now. So I don't remember which one it is, but the author was saying that her and her husband have a philosophy to allow their spouse enough rope to hang themselves. So she was saying that...
Wait, allow enough rope to hang yourself?
Meaning...
Not allow enough rope.
No. Allow enough.
Okay, so please explain.
Yes. So what she's saying is, I trust my husband wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm.
And I give him as much freedom and will as he would like.
Yeah.
And I don't check in on him. I don't do anything. And if he wants to cheat on me, he can. Because I've allowed him that much freedom and grace. So I allow him the trust to hang himself.
Okay.
But because he hasn't cheated on me,
right,
that lets me know that I can trust him. It's like a backwards.
It's totally backwards.
But I get it. Because what she's saying is that in the example she was saying, the girl her husband gets up and goes to the bathroom. She gets up and goes to the bathroom.
Oh.
Mail comes through the door. A magazine comes through the door of her house. She's taking out all the pictures of the pretty girls.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was like real,
really?
Yeah, real extreme. Like
oh my
extreme.
goodness.
And so she was saying, no, you're innocent until proven guilty. So allow your spouse the freedom and trust him enough that if something comes up or he feels compromised, that he'll come to you and say it.
Right.
But until that time, allow him the freedom to go and do whatever.
So do you agree with that?
I think I do.
Why?
Because I would like to think that I trust you enough to not cheat on me. So I can give you the freedom to do what you have to do in your life and not worry, because I trust you enough that you're not going to cheat on me. However, with all that freedom comes the responsibility of not cheating on me. So if you do decide to cheat, you're going to have more than enough to hang yourself.
And that's the thing, I guess. Say you were the cutout, the picture magazine girl, the overbearing. And well, here's basically what I want to say. Unless we are joined at the hip, if you wanted to cheat on me, you could.
And that's,
if I wanted to cheat on you, I could.
That's what she was saying.
Maybe you find out, maybe you don't. But if a person is going to do it,
they will do it.
They will do it.
Right.
And I mean, it's funny because we talk about unlocking your phone. We used to talk about that. There are so many apps and so many ways to hide conversation. You would have to be like NSA level, like spying on your spouse. Mm-hmm. If they really wanted to not be found out.
That's true.
With like Snapchat and WhatsApp and like, there's all types of apps.
Right,
or just deleting text messages or whatever.
Yeah.
There's apps that can give you a whole second phone number.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just saw this, but I don't know if it's for cheating, but I saw it on an Instagram sponsored post. Like you could have a business number and a personal number to your phone, but like even if my phone is unlocked, if you don't know what to look for,
it's true.
You won't find it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, or if I'm always deleting it
or
whatever, like especially with apps like Snapchat, like that disappear or whatever, like, so anyway, I guess I do agree with that, especially because the business I'm in, there's a lot of women, mostly actresses, mostly good looking. Same thing with comedy. When I was doing the comedy show, there's not a lot of female comics, but there was a lot of female people who want pictures and they're dressed scantily clad and all that stuff. So you're either going to trust me or you're going to go crazy. Right? Or you're going to drive me crazy, not trusting me, or whatever. So it sounds dangerous, but I think I agree.
And when she was saying it took me a minute to really digest what she was saying, because it does sound very dangerous. But in reality, it's kind of what you do anyway. Unless you're the overbearing, kind of coming behind you, always checking. Yeah. It's kind of, for the most part, you you trust people.
Yeah, because the counter argument to that is to give no place to the enemy. It's old Bible. Right, like, you get no place to the enemy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But it's not like a free-for-all where I'm not saying there aren't things that might make me uncomfortable.
Right.
And that's a conversation that we'll have, and that creates a boundary.
Right.
But what I am saying is when you're out at work.
Yeah.
And there's certain judgment calls that you have to make or certain things you have to do. My hope is that you would do it in such a way that honors our relationship at all times.
Yes.
And I have to trust that. And if I don't trust that, then that's a different conversation that we have to have. And I think that's the point that she was making. So I think to that degree, I think I do agree with trust them. And if they're going to hang themselves, they're going to do it. So
let me ask you this. This is just purely hypothetical, and this isn't in our notes. If I cheated on you with that rope, do you think you would question yourself for taking that approach, or do you think you would be like, well, he was going to do it either way?
Yeah, because that was her point. They're going to do it either way.
Yeah.
So don't drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, I think I agree with that, because it's. I mean, technology is super advanced now, but it's funny. I don't know how this would happen now, but back in the days, I read books or talk about people like in the 50s and 60s and 70s, men had whole other families.
I know.
Like across town in the same town, whole other families. You know what I mean? So even without Snapchat in 1950, you could sneak around. And when towns were smaller and blah, 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 and news spread fast, it really hasn't changed.
No.
It's faster and more vibrant, But like I was just thinking about, this is a little off topic, but not. I was thinking about like how different we were watching OJ and how different it is. Like or LeBron James gets tweets like crazy, always mean, and we're like, man, that's crazy. Michael Jordan didn't have to deal with that, but they got actual letters in the mail.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like Michael Jackson them got. So it really hasn't changed. It's just somebody actually took the time in the early '80s to write something and put it in the mail and say, I hate you. I hope you die. Twitter, it takes 3 seconds.
Right.
You know what I mean? So maybe it feels more because of that. But anyway, so here's the next thing. And I guess with your rope analogy, that'd be interesting. How do you feel about, in theory, texting somebody who's not your husband or wife that's not necessarily about work?
How do I feel about texting someone? What's the nature of the conversation?
Like, it doesn't have to be sexual. It could just be, I don't know. Maybe it starts off as work related and then it's like, hey, did you see the game? Crazy, huh? Like, whatever. Like,
it's probably okay as long as it's not too often.
Okay, how much is too often?
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I know. I'm trying to like work through it in my mind.
We just talked about the rope thing.
I know. That's why I kind of was working through it. Like, okay, so then
I guess maybe there's just. I guess your rope analogy really makes a lot of sense because if you're trusting them, you would trust that they would know or I would know this is too much to be talking.
Yeah.
I'm trusting you. I'm not saying, okay, 7 texts per day during these hours per day is okay. Talking about this is okay and not. Like, you're just saying, look, if you got to talk to this person about work or if you're building a good relationship to later get a cheaper deal or whatever the case is, I'm trusting that you are respecting our marriage.
And it is very difficult because all of a sudden you have an alarm that goes off that feels like red flag. Hold on, red flag. So
wait, you have an alarm?
Yes. When we go now, I've got this rope analogy and I'm going to give you enough rope to hang yourself. And now you're saying, okay, I'm taking some rope. And it's like, well, wait, hold on. I don't know how I feel about this. So I don't know. I feel like that would actually be something that I might... Certain hours, I feel like I don't care what you're talking about, that's inappropriate.
Right.
And too often not on topic of work, yeah, I think I would have a problem with. So I do think that would be one of those things where I might feel less.
So you just made up this rope analogy and then...
I didn't make it up. I was just telling you what I read.
Oh, yeah. You just entered it into evidence and then immediately was like, but nah, though.
I know. But she was saying, like,
actually,
she's a traveling author, and she was like, my husband doesn't care, like, whoever I book to travel with me, like, he doesn't care.
Book to travel with me?
I think she was alluding to the fact that and she's a Christian, so we have that out there. Mm-hmm. But she was alluding to the fact that sometimes she may have a travel companion that is a male. And she was saying her husband is cool with that.
That actually was on our list. This was a hypothetical thing that I talked about on Facebook Live, KevOnStage, if you want to follow me there. How would you feel about about me traveling with or out of town? The question was, would you let your spouse travel to an out of town wedding with their best friend of the opposite sex? And it doesn't even have to be best friend. Say it's a friend of the opposite sex.
Yeah, my answer is no.
No matter what.
Yeah, no.
In this instance, they were staying in the same hotel room, by the way.
Yeah, I think, again, we can still use the rope analogy, and I actually do think I believe in this whole rope.
You just believed in the whole rope and then was like, but nah, though.
Hold on, let me add my own caveat to it. Because I do think what she's saying has credibility, and I do think I believe in this. I should trust you. Right. I do believe in that. But because I'm as churchy as I am, I also believe in...
Give no place to the
enemy. No place to the devil.
No place to the enemy.
And using a little bit of wisdom that says, well, that's dumb.
Right.
And that doesn't make me feel comfortable. So I do believe in it, but I also believe that there should be conversations around what makes me comfortable. And I'm not here to control, but this is what makes me comfortable. This makes me uncomfortable, or whatever.
So you wouldn't let me...
Absolutely not. But
even if it's a friend that we both know.
No, I don't care. I don't. There's nothing you can say.
I don't want to do it. We're just speaking. Let me tell you what you wouldn't do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't
pack
matter.
A bag. You wouldn't even. I'm not talking about. Close the sock drawer. Take them off. Y'all ain't going nowhere. Where is we going? I don't want y'all to fly together. I don't want y'all to look at the sky together.
Yeah, that's a no.
I'm too jealous.
It's a no for me.
And I don't trust no other man. I said this on Facebook and I'll say it again. When a woman comes out of the shower and that collarbone is glistening just right, you ready to give it all up. So. Ready to risk it all. And we always talk about this, about best friends of the opposite sex. Nah.
Oh, yeah, no. I don't have friends of the opposite sex.
What about Rami?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, is right. Is that your friend?
He's a work friend.
Then you have a friend of the opposite sex?
See, I would still say no.
Why?
Because...
Do you hang together outside of work?
Exactly. No.
Y'all don't be going to Yard House?
Well...
But
time out.
Time out.
Because it was work related though, Kev.
But it was outside of work.
Yeah, but all the work people were there.
Oh, you're saying you and him didn't go to dinner.
Exactly.
But you've been to lunch.
Okay, so we're moving on.
But you have work friends.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't have real life. I'm not like...
Oh, I see what you mean. You don't have a male friend that's not related to work. You're just like, hey, you want to go to lunch?
And I feel like if I quit, we would no longer be friends. Mm. If he quit, we would... So that's why I'm like, within the confines of a 9 to 5...
Yeah.
But you're not my friend in real life.
But see, the reason I feel like me and you are different than other people, not everybody, we've been together so long, since we were 16, there's hardly anybody that you know that I don't know that precedes us. But if we just met now, we're 33, and I'm not going to reveal how old you are, but if we just met right now, it's very likely that I could have a female friend.
Right.
That I've had a longer relationship with than you. So what would you, or I mean, I guess it's really hypothetical, but do you think you'd feel the same way?
Probably.
Now I'm your wife and don't talk to her?
I don't know. It wouldn't necessarily be don't talk to her, but ain't no brown sugar finna be happening. Is that movie?
Yes. Brown sugar, baby. I get high on love and I want some of your brown sugar. Do you have any final thoughts?
No, you can find me on... No, I don't.
It's getting hot in here, guys.
It is getting hot.
And we are tired. I think this is a good podcast, though.
Good.
And it's longer than 15 minutes, but you can find Melissa at...
Miss KevOnStage on Instagram and Twitter, and Melissa Fredericks on Facebook. If you're interested in attending the Gab Fest, you can register at loveyourselfgabfest.eventbrite.com. Tickets are $40. I am finishing up a book titled The Journey to Self-Love. It is a book about... Should I do this every time, huh?
Yes.
It is a book about my testimony in overcoming feelings of low self-esteem. If you would like, you can listen to episode 11 of the podcast, which is titled... I think it says episode 11, but regardless, the title of it is For Women Only, and that is essentially the foundation for the book. So some of the campaigns that I went through, and I also talk about overcoming feelings of insecurity in the bedroom and in your life and all of those things. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that coming due in August.
And I am KevOnStage everywhere I go, everywhere I be. Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Snapchat, Instagram. I'm forgetting one, but Twitter. And I hope you enjoyed this. We'd love for you to tweet us if you have a question, or email us at KevOnStage@gmail.com if there's something you want us to talk about. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we're absent one from another. God bless you, God keep you, and we'll see you at the conference.